Who is it?
Hey,
Vinny!
dude, are you there?
Hey, what's
Yeah,
up,
I'm
my
here,
brother?
man.
How are you,
Dude,
man?
I don't have a scary story, man.
I was like, I'm gonna have pretty much a heart attack. I'm like having a heart attack, but I can't scream or anything. Basically, laying on the floor, panicking.
Oh!
No, you weren't. You weren't.
Oh!
You built the place. I haven't seen the Hopi in thousands of years. Don't make fun of my people. Period.
Sorry,
I'll come
Brandon.
after your ass and cut you up into little bitty bits.
Facebook page down because people said Richie from Boston's gay. He's gay. I'm gay. I'm a gay man.
And I mean, yeah, I mean, you can prosecute me for that if you'd like.
No, it's not why I'm doing that. I'm just saying there's a lot of...
That is what you did.
Bigelow started buying websites, including one in British Columbia, Canada. So all of a sudden, this kind of triggered Brian Vike.
Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins here. We've got a special report for you. We've got a few UFO videos that we want to share with you.
Welcome back, everybody. Blake Cousins, along with Orlando Smith and Brent Cousins, we're going to be going over incredible imagery.
Third phase of moon. Third phase of moon.
Ten, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
You were either in or you were either out, brother.
But the cream rise to the top. Oh yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, that does not look good. Yeah. Oh. No. We watched him change hats for 5 minutes, and then he puts on the worst one. Welcome to GUFON, everybody. I'm your host, Rich Giordano. It is Saturday, April 19th, 2025. It is the day before the event of the year, 420. Everything was 80% off pretty much this whole week. And everybody's going to be excited tomorrow. So tomorrow is Easter Sunday. And I got to be going out and doing stuff for the other chat. It's going to be such a big day. People are going to be lined up outside. I got to make up for today. Nobody knows what happened because I didn't talk about it over here. But I was too ill to do my other thing on the other channel today. I was supposed to go downtown. Oh, that looks awful. I was supposed to go downtown, right up the street where I live, and protest the protesters against Trumpage. And that was supposed to be the goal today. I know this looks stupid. Who gives a shoot, right? Who cares at this point? Let's just make this all black and white. So I didn't feel good. I threw up 2 nights ago, and then today it bled into feeling. Oh no, I forgot to take my insulin. I was supposed to take it at 6. See, not used to it yet. Something's going on with my. Hello. Hello. Oh, there we go. No. Hello. Can't hear out of this ear. Anyway, it's long acting insulin anyway, so it's not like I'm gonna die. I can take it after the show. So yeah, thanks for hanging out tonight on Saturday. I do want to talk about why we are a desperate bunch of vulnerable pepples. It's nothing new I'm bringing up to you. It was a slow day today. Easter weekend. A lot of people are talking about a lot of stuff. Anyway. I'm reading the chat room. Oh, it's not in the fridge. I wasn't told to put the insulin in the fridge. Yeah. They didn't have it in the fridge at the pharmacy. This insulin is in a pen, and then I'll go show you and I'll take it. Yeah, hold on a sec. Let me I can't leave you hanging. It won't take me long, but I don't want you guys to sit around and stare at the ceiling for even 30 seconds. Third Phase of Moon did some sort of live show, it looks like. I think. I don't know. Let's take a look. I'll bring it on over so you can take this, and then I'll show you how my little insulin pill works.
Classified. It's available right now on Amazon and Apple TV, and people are raving about this incredible documentary with regards to the powerhouse of women that have been involved for UFO disclosure for many, many years. And it's my pleasure to bring in the whole entire cast of Nexus to Disclosure in today's episode, and let me tell you, it's a powerhouse. We're going to bring in Linda Moulton Howe from the Earth Files, famous in her work for ufology, investigator, Emmy Award winner, you name it. Linda's been on the front line of disclosure. Plus, we have Carrie Cassidy from the Project Camelot. And let me tell you, Carrie's been a major advocate with regards to disclosure as well, and the investigative reporting and the multiple eyewitnesses. And
all right, that looks good. We'll come back to that. I'll be quick. I won't waste your time. And I'll read this again to see if I have to put this in a refrigerator. It doesn't say so. Do not mix with other insulins. Anyway, so this is it. All right. So here it tells you how much is left. And then here is the place where I adjust how much I need. So I would put this to 15, but I have to grab the pin, or mini needle as I like to call these, the MPs or MNs. This has to get screwed on to the end of this. So I'm going to peel off the backing to the needle. Boop. And now they make these idiot proof. And now I'm going to put the needle on the record. No, put the needle in the pin. Here we go. Or the insulin pen. And then I'm going to screw and push there. And now I'm going to pick my dose. They start us out at 15, or me for my weight and everything, of 175. So I'm going to go to 15. And then what I'll do is I'll go to my stomach and just peel off a little bit of skin. Not peel, but I'll pull back. And then when I push this in, the dose will uncoil, and it'll go into me. And that's that. And I don't feel it. And oh, I already dabbed this, so here we go. Take this off. Take the little pin. Look how small that is. I don't know if you could see it, but it is like 1/4 of an inch. The steroid needle I have is 1.5 inches, and it's 22 gauge. Here we go. Did I take my insulin today? I hope not. I don't remember. It's once a day. Here we go. Boop. And that's it. There we go. And this goes in back on the cap. This goes back on there. We unscrew it. Oh, sometimes that happens. I don't like that that happens. Sometimes the cap gets, there it goes. There. Now I'm going to recap. Oh. Put it back. And we're done. And then throw out whatever's left. And that's once a day at, I usually do 6 o'clock. I believe I forgot. All right, let's get to work. Tonight, I do want to, hey, let's look at this real quick. Oh, wait, what? What's that? Oh, hey, who's here? Overlander BC. Welcome. Teresa Pulio. I clicked on you and it didn't go. Welcome. Jeanette. Welcome to the show. Stephen A. Everybody. Hey, everybody. Glenn Collins. Oh, welcome to the show. The name of this insulin, if you want to look it up, it's called Lantus. It comes with 5 of these pens. So, you know. Anyway, that's that. Welcome to the show, Samuel. Euphonian Rockstar. Welcome to the show. I feel a little better. Yeah, I don't know. I'm weird. I imagine things. Pat Mitch Pat. What do you say? How do you be? Welcome to the show overseas. UFO 91. Welcome to the show. All right. If I didn't say your name, doesn't mean I don't love you. It means we got a lot of show to do. Hey, next time you insulin yourself, Richie G, do the other side, okay? You might build a... Dude, you saw me take 1 shot. I know. Here's what I do. 2, right? 2. Then I'm going to go bing, 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 bing. And then I'm going to go ding, 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 ding. You are my insulin, ding ding dong. You make me feel better when the needle goes in and it's in and in my arm. Ow, ow, don't go too low. The insulin burns my thighs. Let's listen into the women of UFOlogy. I want to hear this for reals, though, because we've got the women that are in that disclosure movie from Third Phase of Moon. Boop. And beep.
Whistleblowers, it's my pleasure to bring in Carrie Cassidy as well as Laura Eisenhower, great-granddaughter of the president.
Wait, did he say Carrie Cassidy as Laura Eisenhower?
Project Camelot. And let me tell you, Carrie's been a major advocate with regards to disclosure as well, and the investigative reporting and the multiple eyewitnesses and whistleblowers. It's my pleasure to bring in Carrie Cassidy as well as Laura Eisenhower, great-granddaughter of the president, Eisenhower himself, and her knowledge of behind the scenes of disclosure is vast. And let me tell you, the hard work she's been put in, it's again a major role in Nexus disclosure. And it's another to the panel, including Yvonne Smith. She's been working with hypnotic regression and dealing with people that have
Blake,
been
can I say something?
supposedly
I just wanted to make believe I was in the show.
abducted by aliens. And through the research that Yvonne's been doing and bringing in the whole aspect of this collective conscious of abduction, there's no other than Yvonne Smith with regards to her work. And we also have Paula Asteria, the director of Nexus to Disclosure. It's her brainchild. She brought in her network of the top female people with regards to disclosure, and we got them in this documentary. So let's blow things up right now. This is quite incredible. I'm humbled to be among you women right now.
No, he's not.
And the hard work in this incredible panel discussing disclosure, what's coming up in the future, what some of you women have done in the past to get to this point, and we're just going to get it started. Let's just roll the trailer first for Nexus to Disclosure right now.
The government of the United States, since the 1940s, has classified the ocean.
That's the trailer. Go watch it. But first, let's get to this discussion and just stick around. We're going to get into a lot of stuff today. So, Linda, let's just start it off with you. I know this is incredible that this documentary is out. Your hard work has been seen by millions around the world. Your investigative journalism, basically, I think everybody on the panel kind of looks up to you, Linda, for the work and the leadership in this disclosure movement. And thanks for being here. Linda, what do you make of working with the panel here, working with Paula, and this whole idea of how we're going to bring the people the truth? Because we named Nexus to Disclosure. The truth is classified based on some of the statements you say. Why is the truth classified, and should it be reversed immediately?
Well, one of the first levels that I feel is sadness. This is the 45th year that I began investigations in 1979, bloodless, trackless animal mutilations, lights over ranches and in fields where the animals were found.
They're not
linked to people talking about being taken in beams out of their houses. And I remember that in the September of 1979 was a meeting that would ricochet and echo up to today as we are in April of 2025. And that was going to see the sheriff in Northern Colorado that everybody recommended, that he had been dealing with 100, 200 animal mutilations. And the day that I sat in his office and he said, Linda, I want to show you 166 color Polaroids I've taken myself. That's evidentiary in a court of law as sheriff. And he came to one particular case. He wasn't explaining, I'm looking at the Polaroids. And it was a 1,700-pound steer, and the head was down in a hole about 8 or 10 inches. And the body was completely and perfectly laid out on dust. There was no plants, it's all dust.
Thank you, Pat Mitch.
And he said, you can see for yourself. As the deputy and I approached this animal,
Mitch is a new member.
Brought my hand up and I said, stop. I don't want our footprints to come in here.
Jason,
let's stay 12 feet out.
Buddy.
Let's do a 360 around this animal, photographs. And they were doing Polaroids. And he concluded that whatever it was.
Guys, memberships aren't posting on this side of the stream, like where I do it in the studio. So I'm doing my best to see them, and thank you all. So if I don't put it up here on the screen, it's because I can't, and I can't. So I don't see it, but when they pop up, I'll say thank you during that pop-up. So yeah, thanks a lot, Jason and Pat Mitch, and anybody else who's subscribed or continue that subscription to GUFON. We're not going anywhere.
That was behind this mutilation. It had the ability and the power to hold the 1,700-pound steer in place.
I mean, this is pretty interesting. I'm glad that they did this. It's an hour and a half. I just wanted to give a little taste of it because I haven't watched it yet. And I think this is probably very important. And these women, especially Linda Moulton Howe, she is the most important woman in ufology as far as I'm concerned. She just said 45 years, whatever, since 79. Wow. God bless her. I knew I saw her in the 80s with the cattle mutilations and the crop circles with the other guy. Jeff Garvey throwing down a $10 chocolate and fluffy super chat. Dude, thank you very much. Man, we haven't seen a super chat like that in months. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't think I remembered. If you want to help support the show, you see how. Thank you very much. And just because I joke about it doesn't mean, we don't need it. We are in desperate need of help. I'm just saying it. I'm not going to keep laying on top of it because I already have. So thank you very, very much. Mr. Jeff Garvey, a continuing supporter of GUFON.
On the ground in dust, and there was not a single track around.
She's talking about the cattle that was taken up into a UFO. There was no trace of it. There was no dust displacement. There was nothing that showed it was a machine or a person or anything man-made, alien-made, or spiritually ingested into this reality. If you go back and you look at the way all of ufology's little things, cattle mutilations, I say little, I'm talking the outcroppings of, oh God, what's the friggin' thing I'm looking for? Things that are associated with UFOs, crop circles, cattle mutilations, abductions, implants, that kind of stuff, right? Back in the day, there were so many cattle mutilations being talked about, recorded, studied, put on TV. We were all enthralled by how many of those there were. Then the crop circles pretty much simultaneously were brought into our reality about 1980, 79 from British Columbia or somewhere over there. And then it came over here, came to Canada, and then Doug and Dave, the guys with the planks, the wooden planks and a string, were deemed the crop circle creators worldwide. We all know that's an impossibility. And weren't Doug and Dave ex-Marines or ex-military? I always find that interesting. The people who are always, saying they're the ones. It always turns out to be ex-military or ex-something government. How is that possible? Why is that possible? Because they never stop working for the government, ever. Nada. Nope, never. And hey, if you need a favor 30, 40, 50 years from now, they'll come knocking on your door, and guess what you'll do? Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely, sir. Anything for you, sir. Bootlick, sir. $10, a super chat from Overlander BC, says, pardon me, do you have any gray GUFON? That has to be one of the greatest advertising things I've ever seen for GUFON. I need to make a commercial where I pull up to myself in a car, in a nice one or whatever, say, pardon me. Yeah, what's up? Do you have any gray GUFON? Or come up with something a little different than gray GUFON. That's funny. I really enjoy that. That could be an advertisement for my channel. Hey, if you're looking for UFOs, that's the guy. All right. Anyway, if you want the truth, go to gray GUFON. I don't know. That's funny. I like that. It's got something to it. All right. So thank you for that, Overlander. And was there another one? Bernie with $2 super dono. Remember those? They're just super chats with nothing on them, which translates to, we love you, man. I love you too, B. Bernie Miro, a continuing supporter of GUFON. with the Super Dono. Thanks, man. Thank you, everybody, so far. I appreciate that. Let's continue. We'll finish with Linda, and then we'll go on to another piece of the puzzle tonight. We're here for a minute, so get comfortable.
Around that body, including the animal's own tracks. And he said, this is my first sheriff interview. Linda, how do you think this animal got on its side with its legs out and the head is down in a 10-inch hole? And I said, well, I hear the UFOs have beams they can pick up, put down. And he said, yes, and we have witnesses who have seen those beams. If you are open-minded there, you are at the beginning of what is a genuine mystery of the relationship.
Translation. If you have an open mind, if you can suspend your disbelief forever on what I'm telling you about this cattle mutilation, you will believe. Of course you would. Silly lady. Cows are for wait, what is that? Tricks are for cows?
Relationship of what is it in the sky that has this ability? What are they doing? Why are they doing this to cattle, and what else? Well, now, today in 2025, I can tell you it's been around the world. It includes kangaroos in Australia. Animal mutilations are a part of this vast story. And Whitley Strieber and I have talked about this just recently, that there had always been suspicion that that was being used for something that might be medicinal. It might be something to keep beings alive. And Whitley Strieber has come to the conclusion from some research just recently that the blood fluid chemistry in mutilated animals, because they're cattle, has a different copper, that the structure of the copper in the blood of cattle is different from the copper in the blood of humans, for example.
Okay.
This is 45 years later, and we still have not even been told the truth. We're not alone in this universe. We have never been alone in this universe, and it's beginning to be preposterous that we.
What I love is how Linda, just like Nick Pope and Richard Dick Dolan, all of those old timers who've been around for 35 plus, they think without any real evidence, because there's no evidence proving that these are interstellar beings. It's an assumption. I think they're from here. Yeah. I think they live in a dark place that they can make bright. I don't know, whatever, I think that's what accounts for the big head, the big eyes. They need to get as much light into the eyeball as possible, whatever kind of lens they have. We'll never know. However, very convinced that these are interstellar, and that bothers me. You know what else bothers me is she's an what do you call it? She's a journalist, an investigative journalist, who, after all these years, with the help of the best in the best, still doesn't know anything at all about alien abductions, crop circles, or cattle mutilations. And this is someone who literally was there at the scene, right? The best of the best. I think Linda's better than George Knapp in a lot of different ways. And I don't think George Knapp is what he used to be. I think he's gotten into the grift, but that's for another day. But Linda has never, and she's been on very controversial topics before and been accused of many, many things without very, very little proof, that she's a bad person. I don't think people like her, the ones that don't, because I think they just can't admit that She's better than all the guys out here. I think so. I think she's fantastic, actually. As much, as many jokes as we can come up with about her, but really, when it comes down to it, she's in it. Like, she was there at the cattle mutilations, at the crop circles, at the da-da-da-da-da. She's not just talking about it like me. I'm not going all these places like I want to. It's not even close to what she's doing and done and will do from here on out. It's weird hearing that from me, but it's true when you think about it. She's not only the best woman in you, she's the best, I think, one, if not the best investigator we have in ufology. Who would be better? I mean it. We don't have any investigative journalists in ufology. We'll go with George Knapp, forget George Knapp and Corbell. They're corrupt. Who else is there? No, there really isn't. The days of investigative journalism has turned into views and clicks on YouTube and social media popularity. It has turned into an entire grift. I'm not saying it hasn't always been, but it's hard to hide from that. It's like you get drawn into it because, you want people to listen to your story, but if they're not buying it, what good is your story? Linda has been on the side of every single story you can imagine. People believe her or they don't. That's the life she's living. I think she's doing more good than bad. I really do. I don't know what I was going to say, but I wanted to give her a little credit. I mean, I've been watching her for 21 years, and I've come to that conclusion. I can't think of it. John Greenwald Jr. is a different type of investigative journalist. He just popped into my head. Like, what guy out there do I think can give her a run for her money? But he does FOIA requests. He sits home. He doesn't go out there like she used to. It's a different ball game sitting in your home. And again, the information is at our fingertips nowadays. So if you don't have to go, See, that's the thing. John Greenwald Jr. has no experience with a camera in his hand recording UFOs. He should never be the bearer of good or bad news when it comes to UFOs claimed to be recorded in the sky on what they are. He shouldn't be the guy. The only experience he has is what people send him. He doesn't know how they get to that point, what it looked like at the distance, how they could be faking it. He knows nothing. No offense to John Greenwald Jr. Everything else he does, I think, is spot on. Stephen Greenstreet. Now, these are men I'm talking about. Stephen Greenstreet, from the New York Post. He's the guy I showed yesterday who was being interviewed by, what was her name? Laura, I don't know. I can't remember. But anyway, he hates Lou, and he's blamed for being, calling Lou a disinfo guy too. But he gets his hands dirty at least. But still doesn't hold a candle to Linda. All right.
We are kept at a distance from the truth. That's why I have always said, this is so weird that reality is classified.
Oh, wow. Super chat from, PayPal.
Incredible. Let's take a quick clip.
Thank you, David Wilcox, for sending in, not Wilcox. Don't ever effing do that again. What did I say? David Wilcox, not Wilcox. That's right. Thank you for hanging out. And thanks for the $20, man. Appreciate that, brother. A continuing supporter, of course, to GUFON on the PayPal. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. We're going to see a clip here.
From the film itself, Nexus to Disclosure. Here's Linda Moulton, how in her first kind of steps into disclosure and the mystery of cattle mutilation. Listen up.
And it was that day, that phone call, with the ABC network in New York City that I said, I want to find out what is happening to these battery belts and why it's interfering with the power of the camera.
Documentary filmmaker Linda Howe refers to the mutilations as an alien harvest. Howe has followed up on hundreds of cases and says whatever cut open these cattle didn't use a knife or pinking shears. Pathologists have told Howe that the cuts went between rather than through the animal's microscopic cells. A laser capable of doing such work would approximate the size of an office desk, hard to cart out into an open pasture.
And from that day in September of 1979 until this day in April of 2024, 45 years later, I tried to find out what was happening between the animals and the battery packs. And that took me out into the pastures where the animals were dead with no blood around them and no tracks.
Howe's investigations have found an unusually high correlation between mutilations and UFO sightings. In some cases, the strange lights in the sky are soon followed by mystery helicopters, leading some to speculate that the UFO mutilators are being monitored themselves by someone with a lot of helicopters. The lack of blood or tracks, the sophistication of the cuts, occasional tripod-like indentations found near the bodies. To Howe and others, this all adds up to UFO.
I have investigated hundreds of animal mutilation cases that are bloodless, they are trackless, and probably to bring all of this to the focus that it needs to be.
Scattered stories of carved up livestock and strange lights in the sky date back to the 1890s in the U.S., but it wasn't until the early 1970s that a pattern began to emerge. A mutilation explosion rocked Midwestern, then Western states.
Can you
then,
imagine
as
that
now,
today?
the main targets were cows.
All right, let's take a break on this one. Now, 85 reported. That's insane. That's like, do you know how much those cows went for back then? I think they were, what, 3,000 a piece back then? That's like 12,000 today. I don't know. Wow. How weird. Hey, man. Hey, give me a second, guys. Something just... Oh, wait. What's going on? Hold on. Huh? What is going on? Oh my God. I am... I'm not sure even how to... I should say anything, because that... I don't understand. I set up my show. When the show is over, all the videos that I played go into the show description. And then I delete them as I do them, so I don't, make a mistake, do it twice. Just whatever. It's just the way I've always done it. And I'm looking, and I look up and I see all of the tabs from the show I did yesterday on Rich Saves America. And then I look at the show that those links supposedly went to, and that none of them are there. They're other videos that I don't know what they are. Like I clicked on one to see what it was, and I've never watched it. I don't know what happened. But remember yesterday when we were doing the show, I was being removed from here. Everything would be deleted. Like I'd be talking, a video would be playing, or everything's up, it's like this, and then all of a sudden it goes. And then I'd have to bring everything back up. It happened like 4 times. So I'm getting a feeling that somebody somewhere, and I thought this several months ago because of some other shit that happened. And I think the company that runs this app is getting into my account and messing with me. That's what I really do. I believe it. So I'm probably going to have to quit here because it's annoying and use another platform, which I already have, but I wouldn't be able to post your comments or your super chats. I would have the chat room on the screen with me. I would use OBS because it's free for me. Anyway. It's very annoying. All right. Like I would never put that on my show. It's weird. It's like some of the things that I see here, just I don't even know what they are. Okay. Let me get rid of this for a second. I tell you this stuff so you understand why I'm sitting here going, That's all. All right. So here we go. Now, Eric Burleson, representative, he says David Grush has provided House oversight with names of, get this, 20 officials. Yeah. They are read into classified UFO programs. Most of them I've never heard of. So, wow. Ooh, yay. He gave us an indication of which ones will be hostile and which ones will not. Some people we may have to subpoena. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What does this mean? He gave us an indication of which ones will be hostile. These are 20 officials that are read into classified UFO programs. So does this mean he gave us an indication of which ones will be hostile? That these people will not want to testify? And let me ask you this. How can they force someone with a subpoena when you have a Fifth Amendment, the right not to speak? They may subpoena them. Maybe they think they're going to talk, but they don't have to. How dare they? And not only that, they're saying it publicly, which to me sounds, this doesn't sound real. Rich. What? What do you mean? Well, this whole thing sounds made up. 20? And some are hostile? Why would you say that about the people that you need help from? Why would you automatically start shit? Like, don't you think those guys are going to hear that and go, gee, I wonder if they mean I'm hostile? I'm not hostile. I'm never hostile. Am I hostile? No. Right? There's going to be 5 or 6 people that are probably going to, and they know who they are. And now they're almost saying them in public. That doesn't make sense. You don't show your hand. You don't, even if it's that, you don't say, no, we're going to have to subpoena the ones that won't follow what we say. They don't have to. I don't know, Moody. How you doing? I don't know who Hostile is, but I think he's with Hassan Pfeffer. Yeah, Hassan Pfeffer. Yeah. You see how that doesn't make sense? Hey, some of these guys are hostile? I wonder if they mean me. You know what? Screw them. I'm not helping. You know, that's how I might feel. Well, you never know. I don't care either way. Yeah, this is never going to happen. 20. You remember when they said they have 40? How many did we get out of that? 2? What's 10% of 40? 4. 5% of that? 2? Yeah, we got... No, 0.5%. Yeah, we got 0.5%. No, 5% of 40 is 2. Yeah. Because 10% is 4. So half of that is 2. I don't know what I'm going with that. David Grush gave us names. They can't tell us who they are. And some of them are hostile. They could be. Never heard them talk like this before. Does that make sense? It makes no sense. And if it doesn't make sense, it ain't true. Unreal. Oh no! What did I just do? Oh. Hold on, I accidentally got rid of a thing. All right. Hold on. Get rid of this. Stupid me. Where is it? Hold on. All right. Hold on. Everything's just screwy for me. Here we go. Okay, I don't remember playing this. Can somebody tell me if I played this yesterday? It's Nick Pope. I don't remember. It said watch again, like I watched this.
What is one sort of fringe encounter that still kind of troubles you to this day?
We had a case in 1993, well, actually a wave of sightings, collectively known as the Cosford incident. One guy was so stunned by this huge triangular-shaped craft that he leapt into his car and started trying to chase it, with his family in the back screaming at him to stop. In this same encounter, there was a farmer who saw this craft very low, and he thought it's so low, he thought maybe it landed, and he went up to the field, and all the cows in the field were standing in a circle, like facing each other. Straight out of the X-Files.
Whoa.
A whole bunch of normal-looking people all walked into an art shop in central London, were there for like a long time. And
hold on. Normal? Did anybody see Alien Addict in here? See him? Alien Addict right here. That's him. That looks just like him. By the way, check out this guy's eyes. That Marty Feldman? Yeah. And look at their hair. Red. Headed. Stepchildren. And an Ollie. That's Ollie in the background.
Walked into an art shop in central London, were there for like a long time, and she just felt there was something weird about these people. And then after a long time, they made a big show of coming up and buying a single pencil, like it was like a big thing, and then they handed over a very high denomination banknote. And when the woman went to give them their change, they looked confused, like they didn't understand the concept of getting their change bag. And she was so struck by this that she phoned somebody afterwards and said, there are aliens in my shop.
So you said you got to know this woman quite well. Was that afterwards? Did she have any other encounters?
One that I would say was more of a time slip.
Missing time?
Seeing somebody that looked like herself from the future.
You know what's weird about that? In the experience / dream / visitation I had, when I said,
I'll be in your head before you wake up.
When I heard that, and then I said it to my wife at the time, I said, and this is what it sounded like. I heard this.
I'll be in your head before you wake up.
I go, oh my God. It sounded like me trying to disguise my voice so I wouldn't guess it was me. Well, what else would that mean? I'll be in your head before you wake up? And it sounds like me disguising my voice. Come on, guys. How do dreams work like that? That has messed with my head since 2007. And I love that it happened. Don't get me wrong. I dig it. And I'm grateful for the experience, even the 2 nights before that. But GD, man, it's not fair to leave us hanging. That was important to hear from me. Would she say disguising herself from herself? What was that? Let me hear. Seeing somebody that looks like herself from the future. I could have heard something of myself from the future coming back to tell me, hey, don't worry about it. I'll be in your head before you wake up. You'll be able to function. Ever since then, I don't think I've been functioning properly. I feel like I'm battling my own reality. Like sometimes I'll feel like I'm not me. Like I'm looking at things and they don't look familiar, but I know they're mine. And then gradually within seconds, I'll start to get, all the memory back. And I'm like, oh, yeah, whoa. So then you have to think, okay, is it the weed? I don't smoke that much weed, man. I know I joke around and all that, but I'm not a pothead. I'm an attitude adjuster. That's it. 26 times a day. That's all. I don't do it every half hour. Jesus, we think I'm crazy? That'd be 52 times a day. 48. I thought there was 26 hours. All right. So, with that being said, and all taken into consideration, not everything is what it seems. I had a really interesting day so far. And I didn't have any energy to do anything until like 3:00. And I was up and back into bed, up and sleeping, up and falling asleep, and just battling, trying to get my energy up to go do shit. And I was supposed to go to the Doge rally today against Trump and Elon. And I waited 2 weeks since they announced it. Every day I thought about it. I can't wait. Just 12 days, 10 days, 5 days, 1 day, tomorrow. It's 1 day. And then I got ill Thursday night into Friday. Friday I was wiped out, got a little better. Did the show. Then got, I didn't feel good. Then all day today I was wiped out. So I missed the rally, the thing that I thought about every day. Now, this isn't the interesting part yet. This is what I think is happening to me. So I don't go to the rally, and I'm thinking to myself, how could this have happened? Now, I don't know if any of you were following me on Rich Saves America, but to be successful in that genre of First Amendment rights and stuff, you need to have confrontations with people or heated discussions that turn into a learning or teaching exercise. And everybody walks away happy, but it doesn't really go like that all the time. People get maced, people get punched, people get rocks thrown at them, run over, shot at, just for filming in public, right? My videos have nothing of the sort. I've had maybe 6 videos where people got in my face, but I knew they weren't going to hit me. They just wanted to let me know how they felt. And those videos, 10,000, 15,000, 21,000 views, right? However, I always say, I feel like I don't, because it's so far and few between that the channel's not growing. There's people who started exactly when I did, have 10,000 subscribers. I have 2,000, 2,100 now, right? Because they have these interactions. I feel like I don't have 100% free will. And that's where this all led to today. And I've been thinking about this over the last several months because I don't have the interactions. No matter what I do, I get the nicest police officers. I get the nicest civil servants. I get the nicest city hall receptionists. I get the nice security guards. For me to have those interactions, it's as if something or someone is guiding me to go to certain places where I won't get beat up or killed. And this goes back to last year when Tucker Carlson said, when he figured out and he talked about it, and a lot of people believe this, that we don't really have free will. We have the illusion of free will, right? Like what coffee you're going to get and what clothes you're going to wear, what you're going to eat for breakfast and dinner. You're going to make a right or a left. You don't make the big decisions like what career choices, are you going to buy that big house? Are you going to get in that relationship? Would you get married? The big, big life-changing things we don't have control over. And I feel like that's happening to me over there for some reason. It's almost psychic. It's almost like I know what's going to happen before I get there. And I've been right almost every time, except for maybe 1 or 2 times out of over 150 of these things that I've done. I have 22 videos, 22 of these places I went to where I can't even post the video because nobody's going to watch it. There's no fights. And I know that because I've posted videos that were cool, but nobody watched them. I feel like we all have some sort of guardian watching. You ever hear guardian angel? Now, why do I bring all this up and mention? Because I got to tell you, I don't know what you believe, but it's weird. It's like the stuff I'm believing today, there's no way I would have believed it 2 years ago. No way. But I do believe we can talk to the universe, call it God, whatever. I think we need to have that conversation out loud. Even if you don't, it just feels better when you talk to yourself out loud, I think. Because I do think thoughts create things. I still believe that. And I think my fear of going to jail for nothing is preventing all of these acts are happening to me. So I get the people that aren't going to hit me, shoot me, run me over. It's weird. That means one thing. That means there's other universes out there where I do get killed doing that. If they're trying to protect me, they know something I don't know, right? And if there's an infinite or infinity or endless, every thought you make creates an alternate reality, right? Weird. I must get shot or something. Maybe I get stabbed or pushed into traffic or into a train. But I don't know if you guys would believe that you have a guardian angel that kind of is making the major decisions to protect you. See, I was hoping by now that channel would have about 10 to 15,000 subscribers and it'd be on remote control. All I got to do is go out every day and run into people that are going to get mad I'm recording in public. Doesn't work like that. For me, it's weird. I watch a lot of other people every day. What do you think that could be? How does that even, like, the odds of what's happening to me are so slim. That's all I talk about to my friends in the auditing community. I'm like, I can't help it. And they're like, I don't know what to tell you. All I have to do is just go out there and people are mad. I don't know. Tomorrow is Easter. And I believe tonight, don't they have midnight masses? I may go do a live audit at a church. All right, let's get back to, I don't know, I brought all of that up because I do think there's some sort of truth that we don't have full control of our lives. And it's possible because it's been brought up as long as man has been around that there are guardian angels that can help us throughout our lives to make sure we get to do what we're supposed to do. And I think it's true. But I keep telling my guardian, stop protecting me. If it's supposed to happen and I'm supposed to get shot, stabbed, run over, pushed into a train, let it happen. You don't feel it anyway. I'm not worried about it. You don't feel it. Okay, guardian angel, let me get my viral video. Yeah, it's weird. I've considered quitting because it's that bad for me. It's like I'm wasting time. All right, well, let's get back to work. And I don't know if that's the psychic thing, if it's my actual brain, because I'm a good manifester. All I got to do is think for a few minutes and whatever I'm thinking eventually will manifest. Well, why don't you think about $1 million? Well, it's not that simple. Start small. I'll think of $1,000. Let's think of $1,000. I'll think of $1,000 is going to fall into my lap. All right, here we go. I'm imagining. All right. And I'll do that after the show, and I'll do it before I go to bed. We'll see what happens. It should take I'll give it 5 days. 5 days. See if it manifests. Even if it's 3/4, even if it's 700 or 780 or 791, close enough for me, man. That would be so cool because I've done it before. It's worked before. I've proven it. What am I doing? I think on Monday we're going to do the moon. The moon's good. What's going on, Rich? Wait, hold on. I didn't play this yet? These are the hostile ones. Did I play this? I can't remember.
Annaplina Luna, we had a really productive meeting. Grush, it was like drinking from a fire hose. He gave probably 20 different names of individuals, some that you've heard of, but most of them I've never heard of being discussed in the UFO community, and these are all people that have been read in on the programs, according to Grush, and then some of them are retired, some of them are active. He also gave us an indication as to which ones will be hostile and which ones will not. So by hostile, what I mean is that they're not going to willingly come forward and provide information like he did. They don't want to talk about this topic. And if we were to bring them forward, they would probably say, I can't, or I don't recall, or I can't speak to that. Right. So that would be a hostile witness. So we want to get, there's some people that we may have to bring forward and subpoena to bring forward. And so that's kind of how that conversation.
And they still don't have to talk. You see this down here? Adam Bentley. I know, bro. Adam Bentley, thank you. He says, it's a secret, but most of those guys, auditors, they pay us before they film us. He says he did security for a hospital, and we had an auditor come in, and he paid us $20 or $200, I don't know, $20 just to raise our voice when we asked them to leave. You want to know what auditors used to do? Call the police on themselves. Yeah. I'd like to call in 2 guys with cameras. Yeah, they're being pretty mean and one of them looks like he's Hispanic and the other's white. They're both wearing masks, but I don't want to give my name, but I'm going to go and record it. So, thank you. And then they hang up, knowing they're going to send. Now, this is the earlier days in auditing. But I don't know if they're still doing that. Doesn't that suck, Adam? Thanks for that. That's true. In every genre, there's shitty guys doing shitty things for that shitty view. Right? What are you going to do? And this here, we're going to have to subpoena people to talk. They don't have to talk. Hold on. Okay, we already did that. All right, get rid of that. And what's this? Oh, that's the moon. All right, let's get back to the women in ufology. Who do we want to hear next? Let's pick somebody. You want to hear Carrie Cassidy or let's hear Cassidy. She's next anyway.
It meant there was something worth looking into. So that's what I did.
Absolutely incredible. And, again, just dealing with this topic and being on the front line, there comes sometimes a little bit of danger and harassment and intimidation. And I know all of the women on the panel have experienced some form of that. Let's just roll a clip from Carrie Cassidy right here in Nexus to Disclosure. Take a look at this.
There's danger in disclosure in the sense that if you don't tell the people the truth, then they're not going to be able to protect their children. And there's a lot of perception of danger in telling the truth. So that's why my colleagues try to go along and get along. They kiss ass as far as I'm concerned. They try to hide certain pieces of the truth. So I think the biggest danger is only telling a partial truth so that people are not prepared for the future. Their children are not prepared for the future. And therefore, the real danger is on humanity, not me personally. Now, I can say that I'm protected. I've had many death threats. I've had, them trying to kill us and kill me in particular. I've, been told that they were gonna aim, go after me and all this kind of thing. They have done.
Did you hear how she said that? She lowered her voice and kind of like almost sheepingly saying that she had death threats, which I'm sure we all get them. But not everybody gets video evidence like me. I don't know anybody else that has video like I do, where I'm being watched. And spy guy and the spy couple on the mountain. If you just listen the way she says it, it's weird.
They kiss ass as far as I'm concerned. They try to hide certain pieces of the truth. So I think the biggest danger is only telling a partial truth so that people are not prepared for the future. Their children are not prepared for the future. And therefore, the real danger is on humanity, not me personally. Now, I can say that I'm protected. I've had many death threats.
Did you see her shake her head no? I've had many death threats. Why would you shake your head no? You do it like this. Yeah, I've had many death threats. I'm sorry, I just don't believe her.
Kill us and kill. Now, I can say that I'm protected. I've had many death threats. I've had, them trying to kill us and kill me in particular. I've, been told that they were going to aim, go after me and all this kind of thing. They have done. Something is protecting me.
She goes, something protecting me. She doesn't sound like she's telling the truth to me. Sorry. I know she may have had death threats or maybe a threat, but I think she's over exaggerating the extent of it. Plus, where's the evidence? See, it's so easy to say, oh, and then they told me they were going to take, me out of the ball game. And doesn't sound believable to me. Sorry. I'm not sorry, but it's the way she sounds. I'm not saying she didn't have death threats. I'm just saying I don't think she had them the way she wants us to believe. Like, I don't think she was in any real danger. Who's next on the list? Yeah, Laura Eisenhower's an interesting one.
History about UFOs.
Here we go. Let's go here.
Going up.
Angle on disclosure and making her own kind of name for herself, not necessarily with her great grandfather, but just being Laura Eisenhower and doing her things her own way. And she's been speaking around the world with regards to disclosure. Laura, again, some of the intimidation factor, I know you've dealt with it, but again, what was your first kind of experience that you knew that there was something going on, that this wasn't science fiction, but science fact, that there's this big secret that's being held from the world itself?
Oh gosh, yeah. Very early on, I just felt it. Coming into this family, I felt this passion, this drive, this urgency to really uncover so much that has been kept hidden. And when I first observed, this world, as we're growing up, we just observe our environment. I could pick up on the programmings. I would watch the news, or I would look in the history books, or just sitting in science class. I just knew that there was more to the story. I was having experiences as well on a multidimensional level. I felt I was communicating with beings, guides, even Eisenhower. And there was just this purpose in me that was so strong to begin to lift and peel back all the different layers that keep us from the truth, because the pillars of our society have been infiltrated with social engineering and false narratives, and the educational system and the medical industry. Just every pillar of society has really created a humanity that doesn't think that there is a much, much bigger picture. So those of us that are in this field that have ventured outside of the classroom, we know that there's a much bigger picture. And in presenting this information, it's not taken seriously because you didn't learn that in elementary school.
Hold on. Is this Yvonne Smith eating? She just wiped her mouth. Hold on.
Picture. So those of us that are in this field that have ventured outside of the classroom, we know that there's a much bigger picture. And in presenting this information, it's not taken seriously because you didn't learn that in elementary school or high school about our galactic history, about UFOs.
We didn't learn about our galactic history in high school, about UFOs, she's saying at this very instant. And I paused it right there. Because, what? No, that's not how you go about it in school. I think it should be taught in school, but I don't think it should be required. I think it should be an elective, right? Isn't that what it would be? If they did it in school, God Almighty save us. Who would they have as the teacher? Giorgio Tsoukalos? Can you imagine that guy teaching everybody the wrong shit? And every other day you'd hear Machu Picchu and Gobekli Tepe. You'd hear that all day long.
Or government ET alliances or treaties or anything like that. So
ET alliances and treaties. That's what she's saying should be in school, teaching us about the galactic Zimbabwe.
I feel like it was a major catalyst being born into the Eisenhower family. And from the get-go, I was just wanting to uncover the truth. And that was my intention. Wow. And that was my drive and inspiration.
Man.
And so running into a lot of different things said about my great-grandfather in connection with signing a treaty with gray ETs was definitely something I wanted to explore. I was recruited to go off planet. So I had a targeting on me since I was a child to take.
She was recruited. Now, whose story is that? Hers? Is that documented? I forget. Is that documented? Is that official? Is there proof in papers? I don't think so. I think that's why a lot of people call Laura Eisenhower bullsheesh. But I don't know. Well, they don't say that. They call her a little bit off the reservation.
Take me down a timeline that I didn't want to go down, which also put me through a lot of contemplation, a lot of rabbit holes and deep digging. And what I found was that there's a lot of false narratives. It wasn't Eisenhower that signed a treaty with the Greys. There's a deep state that is infiltrated that is a lot older than this administration, than his administration and the one that we're currently in. And this shadow government that operates behind the scenes has a lot of information and a lot of technology. There's hidden secrets.
Wow. She's really telling us a lot that we don't already know. Hey, guess what? There's a lot this government is hiding. A lot of technology and, you know, that stuff. Really? Tell me more.
Secret space programs. There's alien tech.
Secret space programs? How righty then. Never heard of that one.
That is being used. And while we exist here as humans, we don't realize that we're going down a potential trajectory of an artificial timeline that's been engineered.
Ah, the old engineered timeline, the old matrix reality. Whatever I say now can be deemed a lie later. Why? Because that's the loophole I want to live in. If you don't believe, it's because you're not in the right timeline. Perfect way to get out of that one. Love it. Love it.
So in order to get to the bottom of it, we have to look at, is history being rewritten? Is our government going to bring about disclosure? What are...
Wow, what a deep thinker. Please. What is she saying? This is like this is simple ufology. This is literally as simple as it gets. If you want to know how to do ufology, listen to what Laura Eisenhower is saying. She's got it down. Listen to this.
And while we exist here as humans, we don't realize that we're going down a potential trajectory of an artificial timeline that's been engineered. Huh. So in order to get to the bottom of it, we have to look at, is history being rewritten? Is our government going to bring about disclosure? What are all these sightings and all these individuals that are coming out with stories that have been contacted or abducted? Secret space programs, super soldiers as well, breeding programs. I mean, there's millions of people that are speaking up. So we are in a time where these voices have to be heard. Disclosure is going to come from the people. The government has to hold space, if it's going to be an administration for disclosure, to make sure that all the different compartments have doors that are open, so there's no longer compartmentalism, so that we can really begin to see how interconnected everything is.
She went to the school of Lou Eliganzo's way of talking in a circle, sounding like you're saying something important, but in reality, you said nothing. She said everything. She hit on every, like, trigger word, or, you know, like everything. Disclosure, abduction, she said, treaty, you know, and all this other stuff that she's just, you know, hitting those hot points. That's what she does. That's why a lot of people don't really like her.
And that's going to take everybody being willing to,
especially riding off the coattails of that last name,
put this out on the table and be a part of this larger conversation. Share your stories, your experiences, the whistleblowers. We have to take them seriously. We have to listen to people. And
yeah, let's take their stories seriously. But when they don't have any evidence or any way to corroborate it, we just say it's true, so it becomes true. Do you see that way of thinking, my fellow Americans? Do you get it, Goofonians? That's what she's saying. Hey, believe them. Take them seriously. It's real. Why? Because I'm an Eisenhower.
Begin to unlock the true mysteries of ourselves. Oh. Where was our DNA manipulated? Why has all this been hidden? What is the end goal? So I like to look at the positive side of all of this, is that the more we know, the more
you know. NBC. A POS announcement.
Going to discover our dormant DNA, our relationship with our galactic heritage, higher dimensional beings, and that there is a small group of nefarious beings, though, that have formed an alliance with our governments that want us to stay dumbed down and controlled and want these things hidden. And the belittling or the smear campaigns or just all the different tactics they use to cover this up, well, it's not covered up anymore. The lid has been lifted. And so I'm just grateful to be with everybody that is a part of this, that has dedicated their life to this mission. Because really, when it comes down to it, it's humanity's mission is to awaken, right, to who we truly are and what's been actually going on. And once we get a grip on all of that, we are going to have a lot more control over our destiny, and we'll be able to remove ourselves from anything vampiric or anything that wishes to control us or use our genetic material in a weaponized way. And then we'll also understand how much benevolence there is out there that is looking to connect with us, so that we awaken to the multidimensional nature of all that we truly are.
Yeah, Linda, I think you're right. Strength in numbers and the collective consciousness of this subject matter, the more people participate, the more people that ask questions, that's the closer we get to disclosure. And disclosure is in the public's hands. The government's never going to tell us what's really going on, in my opinion. But here, let's take a quick look of Laura Eisenhower in Nexus to Disclosure, The Truth is Classified.
There are many pros and cons connected to disclosure being rolled out to the public. It really has to come from the right individuals. There's going to be a lot of confusion amongst people, but a lot of relief, because so many people walking amongst us that might not understand this information actually have begun to research it. It's way more widespread than we can imagine. I run into people all the time that just strike up these kind of conversations or are open-minded to this sort of information. Documentaries have been put out. There's been a lot of predictive programming in movies, but there's so much going on that got so overwhelming to them that they chose to censor it all. So it being rolled out, a lot of individuals and humans are more ready than we give them credit for, and it was never a good idea to assume that humans aren't ready for this kind of information. I don't feel that humans are ready for any more world wars or any more lies or any more tactics to throw us into any kind of survival. I think we've had enough. Most humans have had enough. But when it comes to disclosure, it has to be in the right hands, because these technologies have to be used correctly. There will be...
What year? What? 25? She's been talking for 9 years? Nah. Yeah, she can really keep going. She's a talker and a walker and nothing else but a stalker. All right, we'll get to the next lady next time. I don't think we can handle any more of that. What do I have in the old sink here? All right. 1 hour of insane UFO sightings from 2025. Let's see what this year has brought us thus far. Shall we? And this is from Witnessed with, Jesus, 199,000 subscribers using other people's videos. Remember this one? I don't know if that was fake or real. I remember that. That was this year?
A strange, rotating, unidentified flying object with a bright white light was spotted in the skies over Illinois.
Yeah, that's balloons.
Moving in a way no conventional aircraft should.
Right? Spinning balloons. That's all. Wow, that's interesting. Excuse me. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? I don't know what it could be.
Unlike any known aircraft, it had no visible means of propulsion, just a sleek metallic body moving with an unsettling smoothness.
Yeah, it looks like it was spinning too. Alright, what's this
The bright, oddly shaped craft remained still before making a smooth, controlled move.
Next. Oh, wow. See, these are the sightings that are cool. Like, that is really cool. That's amazing, really. If it's real, if it's not a house on a mountain. Like, what? It looks like a diamond ring. You know? How cool.
There are visible blinking lights but no sound, making their presence even more mysterious.
Yeah. Damn it. And the other two went out over here. See, these are the ones we never see. I never see these. All right, we know debris. More debris. I don't know what that is. Probably a drone.
What are those?
I don't know. These look like, they don't look like flares the way flares usually twinkle. That's interesting. Oh, whoa. Oh, it's a plane. Okay.
Could they be advanced drones, unidentified aerial phenomena, or something else entirely?
These are good. Some of these are really good.
The aircraft hovers silently, then rotates and vanishes at high speed.
That looks like a drone, right? This is a quick test of our judging.
In broad daylight over Paraty, Brazil, a strange object hovered motionless, with nothing visibly holding it up.
That's unreal. That looks great. Let's see if it's moving. So if you take this and you go straight down, it's almost like right here. If you were to say, okay, it's directly down to like right in between these two. It looked like it was moving from right to left. Let's see if it does. Split the trees. And we could already tell it's moved from here to here. So, yep, I was right. So, most likely, and you can see again, it's moved from here to here. Most likely, this is a hot air balloon or some sort of balloon.
No strings, no movement. Just suspended in the sky.
No, it's moving there, Chubbs. Yeah, it's definitely moving, my peeps. Pretty good stuff. I don't care about that. The nighttime ones I don't really like. Here.
Look. Oh, whoa. Oh my God. That's a big one. What?
Those are balloons falling from the sky.
Oh no, my goodness. Mira, bro.
Right?
Oh, whoa.
You can't see it when it gets to
The light
night.
stood out against the darkness, pulsing and glowing in a way that didn't match any known aircraft.
Oh, no. Oh, whoa. So you're not...
Chinese lantern, most likely, or drone. It's moving in an upward manner.
What is that?
This one looks good.
But steadily, but something about its movement felt off.
Oh, it just like fly right there where everybody could see it. It's not even catching it. Oh, there it is. There it is.
What a horrible video. She can't even freaking get it. God, about time. That's wicked cool.
Listen,
right there.
it's so classic.
Oh, Jesus.
Some say it's just
Right? If this was using some sort of propulsion like a propeller, I would imagine these are the little, like they're kind of like grates, you know? And the air can flow through it. You just can't see in it because it creates the shadow the way it's angled. Yeah, probably in there's a little wind device that can make this thing propel in all directions. You just can't see it.
another weather balloon, while others believe it's something beyond our understanding. What do you think?
Cool.
What would you do if you suddenly saw two reddish orbs gliding silently overhead?
Got some UFOs flying around here. Take this, babe. What in the...
Fine.
See
Just
this
another
pattern, 4 and 2, typical of flares. Very typical.
There's something at the bottom too.
Some say they're just drones, while others believe there's something far more mysterious.
Another sphere, Sephora. That's pretty round for a sphere.
These black spheres keep showing up in different parts of the world. Coincidence or a pattern?
I like the next one.
What do you
from the
think this
news.
could be? What happens when even the meteorologists can't explain what's in the sky?
Actually, a warmer day than we've been seeing, and one of the warmest that we're going to have on the entire
fast it's going.
7-day forecast moving forward.
Damn.
News Channel 4's meteorologists noticed it and seemed genuinely surprised. A bright, unidentifiable object was hovering where nothing should be.
It is right there. That's
First of all,
interesting.
guys, it wasn't hovering. Hovering means it's sitting in one spot. If it's in the sky moving, it's floating across the sky or whatever, but it's not hoovering. All right, I think I'm done. I got to get going. That was a little fun for me. I hope you had a good night. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the supers. Thanks for the thumbs up, subscriptions, and memberships. Thank you very much for supporting GUFON. We'll be back with a members show on Easter Sunday. Yeah. We're going to do that probably late in the day. Or live. Remember, I owe the members a live something. Because I'm going to be on that side of the world where I could go UFO hunting very easily after Easter dinner. I'm thinking about it. It's supposed to be clear and nice and cool. All right. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And we'll be back tomorrow and then Monday for the regular show. Thank you very much. And if I mean, it's a big, hey, what are you doing? It's but you can't keep hitting that. It's Truthology for UFOlogy, and they do it for you. All right, we need to get out of here before somebody loses it. If you ain't looking up, you ain't looking out for UFOlogy. So look up a little bit. You're always down in your phone. And when you're driving, don't be looking in your phone. Put it down. Drive to your desk. No idea. All right. Thank you, everybody. And Alien bless. I almost forgot. Alien bless. Alien bless.
Look at this thing. It's rotating.
What was in the skies over Jerusalem, and why did it stop one of the most treasured sites in Christianity?